All right, let's go to work, guys. Facebook. Guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Happy Wednesday. National Mint Chocolate Chip Day, man. It's a sweet kind of day for you mint chocolate chip lovers. Great history behind that. But beforehand, look at the lights. And Bezos was right when he wanted to create a place where you can get any book that you've ever wanted in one place. He just kind of expanded it to get anything you want, literally the next day. And that's what I did. My last show Monday, I had no lights. They all went out, man. They all went kaput. So I got on the old Amazon within a few hours. I mean, literally the whole new set. There's all new lights. And much love to you, Jeff, for that. Granted, it's not perfect. There's still issues with that. They say same day delivery and you get nothing. It'll be here tomorrow. But what's perfect on what you get in life is what you tell how your body to respond. And mind you, don't mind the congestion. I don't know what's going around. Maybe some kind of it should be National Day of Snot, honestly, because a lot of people are dealing with that. And I got this gravelly kind of Barry White voice here, kind of sexy, for myself there, Jer. But getting back to the mint chocolate chip, for you guys who love that stuff, I mean, that's great. The Aztecs and Mayans were great about that. They literally found chocolate, but it was bitter, and they used it for medicinal purposes, which is understandable for back then. But then the Europeans came there, like, oh no, we have to add some mint and cinnamon to this. Brought it back home to Europe, got it all juiced up. Some confectionery people got involved, and poof, they bring it back here to the Americans, and there you go. So a little lesson for you guys on the old mint chocolate chip thing. The mint chocolate chip, the mint chip cookie from the Girl Scouts started in 1956. Imagine if I was given these kind of messages back in the 50s, man. Back then, churches were filled every Sunday. Imagine me to blaspheme. talking about God in the ways that I do, and mind you, in a good way, but I'm comparing him, or the energy, to science, which is the energy. I mean, I can only imagine, I'd be drawn out of every town in this country. But now we have the internet, we have free will, and different perspectives to understand that indeed we have the power. And our body's just waiting to listen to it. It literally, it's waiting patiently for us to give it commands how to function. Because I heard this great quote from Neville Goddard the other day. He said, the brain is not the mind is the brain. If you really think about it, it's very true, because we're born basically with this palate. And guess what life starts? Habits, traditions, religions, and start installing these things since day one. Therefore, we become, basically, the mind is an open door to anything we tell it, which is great, because the mind doesn't take, control of you. It takes commands from you. It's listening to you. It's waiting for you or somebody or something to tell it how to function. Therefore, you create a perspective on it. You start believing in it, guess what the body creates? Chemicals, and we start evolving from that. That's the beauty about life. There's no omnipotent force outside of us. It's basically all around us. It's our energy. It's our aura. Imagine if I spoke that back in the 50s. Like I said, the blaspheme lives at this address. Go get him. I would be run out of town, man. But since being brought up in that environment back in the 70s, even then it was popular, but being brought up back then, they would have never, ever divulged that we have the power. No, gotta come every Sunday, man. Gotta come every Sunday. You gotta give all yourself to this entity or this building or this omnipotent power outside of us that judges us. And that's not the case here. It's we who judge ourselves. We create ourselves. We improve ourselves. We destroy ourselves because we have free will. And indeed, it states that many times. But this is not a Bible thumping class today, Meatball. This is a class on a great segment I heard. I had mentioned Neil Donald Walsh on Monday. I was listening to his book, The Conversations with God. And great depiction of how life should be for people who are really trying to figure out why the shit keeps hitting the fan. Indeed. And we all want to know. We all want to know why things are happening in our life. We all want to know why this happened or that happened. It's just our nature as humans. We want to figure out why. And he had a great quote from that book, and I wanted to share with you guys tonight. If you don't go within, you will go without. And basically what that's telling you is if you don't understand how the system works, in other words, your operating system, if you don't understand how it's working, you're not going to understand why you're creating what you're creating in life. Because you got 37 to 50 trillion friends waiting to help you. Yep, waiting to help you. And this is what I'm getting at. Back about 15 years ago when I was in my demise, per se, and I had my kids on the weekends back then. We basically would hit the $5 movie theater, and I would go next door to the dollar store, stuff the pockets with the candy, and we check out movies. It was a great family time for myself and my girls back then. And what we did, we saw a movie back then called The Minions. And if you guys back, many moons ago, you guys, that was like the big thing, the yellow people back then. Now it's the orange guy. But back then it was the yellow people. And they had the King Minion speaking on this big platform. And if you look onto the horizon, there was billions of yellow heads. And every time this king would say something that was relevant, the yellow heads would start moving. Yay! They would start screaming. That's what our mind is saying to us. You want sadness in your life? All right, let's get it. Let's get more sadness. Okay, fine. Let's feel that. Let's start creating the chemicals and start feeling that way in our life. Does all this make sense? You want everybody be happy. All the heads are going to start going, yay, we're going to be happy tonight. And we're going to start creating the serotonin and all these chemicals and to make you feel better. Therefore, your body's going to feel better. That's the beauty about going within. It's you understanding how this operating system works, using it to your advantage, and not letting the outside world control you. This is the beauty of it. Corinthians said it. Even Einstein said it, that we have this power, but a lot of us are afraid to use it or afraid to go within and to see what's going on with our operating system. That's key to transformation. You can talk to yourself all day long that you're stupid man or superman. Whatever you want to say to yourself. All right, your mind's going to believe it. It's going to transmit it into feelings. Your body's going to create chemicals, and you're going to evolve from it. You can live in fight or flight mode, or you can live in the love mode. And I wanted to use that with my out of the quote box tonight. And we all have this choice, but there's pulling entities out in life that are telling us how to think. It's when you get beyond that is when you start evolving into the person that you've always wanted to be. And out of the quote box, finally, tonight, I will get to my minion segment again here. But listen to these words. And I actually posted this. I wrote this many moons ago, going through a time where I thought love was hard, when love is not. We are brought here to express ourselves. And the best way to express yourself is through feeling love. Unconditional love. It's amazing how people want to be loved, but it has to have conditions for them to be loved, to feel loved. When you start focusing on yourself and loving yourself with that unconditional love, you don't have to do anything because life is just going to give you more of it. Because you're going to be a transmitter of happiness that is going to encumber rooms whenever you walk in. And you've seen that with certain people. Literally, they'll walk in and light up a room, not by doing nothing, just their presence. And think about it, presence, the gift that we all have. It's not necessarily just living in the present moment, but realize that we are a gift as well. We are a gift to this life, whether you believe it or not. We have something to give. Whether you want to use it or to lose it, it's completely and utterly up to you. So the quote box tonight, Love is our wholeness expressed for the world to see. That's going within. That's what I was mentioning in the very beginning. You go within, you find out your true essence, not necessarily your purpose per se, but the fact that we were born into love. Literally, pure love. We were born into love. Not necessarily the physical love, but the souls coming together, creating us as we are today. Okay, we pop out. Here comes that brain, matter, mind thing I was talking about in the very beginning. We're taught either to love or to hate. To not like ourselves, to love ourselves. The problem is, at that age, it gets programmed in there, in the operating system. And then we figure, well, this is the way it is. It's not. It's not. We all have this choice every day. And if we continue to revamp the operating system, you're going to change every part of you, not just your mindset, but your lifestyle, who you are as a person. And this is what I love bringing to with America's Mentor. It's getting people to realize that we're not stuck in this lot in life. We have a choice to create a new lot, to rebuild the foundation of who we are, whether we choose to or not. That's the free will they talk about in Scripture. Corinthians, stated perfectly in 6:16, God not only lives among us with other creations, but that we are the house in which he dwells in. Think about that. I never heard that growing up, being thumped in my head, temporal tapping, that there's a power, if you don't follow it, you're going to be in trouble. This is why I got in trouble. I was like, wait a minute, why? But then even Einstein this is the problem with Einstein. He was popular back from the 30s to the 50s and 60s, obviously, with the war and everything else. And he wasn't going against religion, he was comparing it. And it's great because he said, the more I study science, the more I believe in God. Because when he realized the two are basically the same thing, in his right mind, he understood. He understood not only how to split atoms, but to realize the true power that we have. And think about what I said. Love is our wholeness. Indeed. Well, when you realize the wholeness of us, if you can live in that light of love, it's not just some hairy-fairy fantasy. It's a chemical producing, life-changing, transformational journey that you can literally change how you look, act, feel, and present yourself to the world every day. A few people don't believe it. Few people actually believe it. The majority don't believe it because they think there's something outside of us that is controlling us. When it says wholeheartedly that there's something within us or an energy within us that's pre-installed, that's ready to go. It's ready to tell the 37 to 50 trillion cells how to react and create the chemicals that'll create us as a tangible being on this planet. And that kind of mindset, when you start realizing you are in complete control of your destiny, of how you want to be created. Obviously, there's other issues out there on time and essence, but for right now, at the present moment, realize how special you are. Realize the fact that you are a creation being expressing yourself for the world to see. And think of this. Obviously, this is a closed fist. This is what hate and anger is like. You've closed off your world. This is what love is. Love is just opening up your hand to life, opening up yourself to life. When you close your fists, or if you close yourself off with hate and anger, shame, or guilt, you shut off the world to potentialities of a new reality. When you live in love, you basically opened up your life to attract more things to love, more things to appreciate, more things to understand. And that kind of mindset can only get you to better places. Listen to these words. Love, a person's adoration to God. Okay, fine. A person's adoration. Adoration is basically a state of being adored. When you realize, they always tell us this is the temple of God. You think those are words that were farce? No. It's a structure created out of love. So why would you not want to live in love? Why would you not want to live in that state of being adored, loved by yourself, and letting the world give you from that? Because that right frequency is going to connect with another right frequency, like minds connect. Apples don't fall far from the tree. Therefore, you got a whole new circle of love. And this is what I'm getting at. We're magnets. We're attraction magnets. And if you keep doing that and practicing that every day, that feeling, creating those amazing chemicals, my God, it's unbelievable what you create. The dopamine and serotonin from love itself. Not the physical part of love, being with another person. I'm talking about the love of self. When you start this adoration of love about yourself, you're only going to create more of it out there. It has nothing to do with relationships. It's about you. Because starting with you and how you act and how you feel about yourself attracts the next relationship. You attract your equal. That's why I call it relate. And then you go on a ship. It's called a voyage. It's called a relationship. It's something for you guys to really think about. The next word is adore. To worship as in honor or as divine. How many of you can actually say to yourself, I am divine. I am a divine being. That said, when you get past what you've been told and get past the lights that keep flickering here, I got my screen going crazy. When you get past what you've been told, you'll understand the true power that you have. You'll understand that you are basically a force to be reckoned with, whether you want to or not. How you direct that energy, like I'm directing this light here. I mean, think of that light that I just moved to try to get the shot better. Think of that light as your energy. And basically now I can just point it anywhere I want. You do that with your life every day. You point and click and shoot your energy out every day. And you're just getting a response from that. So why not choose the feeling of love? Why not choose the feeling of the fact that you're a divine being? Why not choose the fact that we are an amazing person and we're cloaked in this body to do whatever we want? And that you can choose love, fear, anger, shame, guilt. You can choose anything you want in this life. But realize there's consequences from not choosing the path that is suitable. And when you realize that, you realize where you're going, because the 37 to 50 trillion cells, like I said with the minions, are just waiting. Whatever you choose, they're like, all right, yay, shame, sure. You want to live in that all day in fight or flight mode? Here's what you get. You start living by the stress hormones. We're not built to handle stress for a long period of time. Just like any animal, they're not built for that. Eventually, you're going to destroy yourself. So this little PSA for you guys to realize, what are you surrounding yourself with? What's emitting from yourself every day is basically what you're creating. So listen to what I said in the very beginning. If you don't go within, you'll go without. If you don't go in and understand how your operating system was conditioned, you're going to go without what you've always wanted, because you don't even realize that you're blocking it. You're blocking it with your past conditions, experiences, and circumstances that have shaped you as a person. But you can change that. You can change everything about you guys. And when you get to that point in life, you realize, this is not my lot in life. I'm going to move to a new one. I'm just going to change the foundation that I was built on. It sounds really deep, but that's where it is, Meatball. It's buried deep in your subconscious. When you realize how the mind works, and it's not very hard. It's not. When you realize that it was programmed, you can reprogram it. You can set it on a new course in life. And when you do that every day, repetitiously, consistently, you're going to transform into that. This is what happened to me, and I didn't even realize what the hell was going on. It was me just taking a new thought path and understanding how beautiful life was and letting life bring to me what I've always wanted. I got out of the fight or flight mode, which is so important. You take your fists of shame and anger and all these experiences that have happened to you and open it up. When you live in love, you will just open your life to a world that wants to give you more of it, because you're giving out the energy that you want to get back. And it's going to manifest in the most beautiful things, but it's completely up to you. It's up to you to understand not necessarily how the mind works, but how you work. So really think about it for yourself, guys. I'll say it to you one more time. If you don't go within, if you don't understand how your operating system is set up, how you think, act, and feel all day long, you're going to go without. Because you're going to keep trying to get those dreams and desires, only to hit a wall constantly, not realizing why you're not getting what you've always wanted, because you don't realize that you're good enough to get what you've always wanted. Therefore, you're emitting the feelings behind that. You're sending out the vibration, and the world is only answering what you're sending out. The world doesn't go necessarily by words. It goes by what you feel, what kind of energy you're emitting. So when you take an account of your energy level, what kind of frequency you're giving to the world every day, like I said with this light in the very beginning, you're pointing and shooting your energy off. How it responds is what you're giving to it, guys. So please follow me, Jerry Maldonado 2 on Facebook. Guys, enjoy your Wednesday. I'm losing the voice here. So guys, America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. Like I said, please follow me, Jerry Maldonado 2 on Facebook. And I am going to get some tea, man. You know, enjoy your Wednesday. Eat some mint chocolate chip today, man, and really delve it up a little bit, guys. It's good stuff for you guys. Enjoy your night, guys. I'll see you guys soon, man.